Welcome to your weekday cup of the word. We are in Job chapter 4, and in Job chapter 4, we're going to take a look at Eliphaz. Now, Eliphaz is one of Job's friends, and up until this point, he's been silent, but Job has pointed out, God gave me life, and I just wish I'd never lived. I wish I could just have died as a baby instead of face this suffering that I've been through. And Eliphaz is going to speak up, and he's going to start out by saying, you know, Job, I've known you a long time, and you're a good man. I've seen that you've helped people, you've done a lot of good, you've helped people when they were weak and when they were struggling and they needed help back up, and you've given good counsel to others, but now that you're the one who's weak, are you too impatient to hear good counsel? Because I have something to say to you. And he's going to tell him in verse 7 that, look, innocent men don't suffer for being innocent. It is bad guys who suffer punishment. The guilty are punished, not the righteous. And he's going to say, if you have done the wrong thing, that's when bad things happen to you. So guess what? Since bad things have happened to you, Job, you must have done the wrong thing. Now, this is a bad argument. After all, you go to the New Testament, which we thankfully have here, and you have Jesus Christ who lived a perfect life in every way, respect, and form. And yet, he suffered. He was a man of suffering. He was a man of great, great sorrows. Innocent and good people do sometimes suffer for being innocent and good. And that's what happened here with Job. Satan picked on him and had an argument against him because Job was such a good and righteous man. And then in verse 12, Eliphaz is going to continue this argument, and he's going to say, you know, I even had a vision from God. God spoke to me while I was laying there on my bed. And he told me, and that spirit spoke to me and said, you know, that a good man doesn't suffer for being good. And he's going to continue with that argument, which is a really important point for us to understand, that there have always been people on this planet that thought that God spoke directly to their heart. And Eliphaz will eventually be rebuked by God just because he had this idea pop into his head in the middle of the night as he was laying on his bed does not mean it was God that put that thought there. And so we have to be very careful. God speaks to us through His Word, not through some vision in the night or feeling in the pit of our stomach as we're thinking about life. And so here's Eliphaz. He begins to lay out this argument. Job, I think you've been a good guy in the past, but you've obviously done some things wrong, and that's why you're here today. So it's about time you start looking at yourself in the mirror, just like you told people to do when you were giving them counsel. That's Job chapter 4. That's your Daily Cup, and we'll see you tomorrow.